students, then we can even add to the productivity aspect into it, how the exports and imports, there are the other factors which can cause the pricing of it. So the productivity aspect is also very important in that. So this says that Professor Jacob Weiner, he says that single factorial terms of trade can be determined of a country is the product of its net barter terms of trade and the index of productivity in its export sector. It means now we are adding the subjective portion over here, that is the productivity. However, this is not very easy to measure. But that what Divya was discussing me, how this why is real income is rising and how the productivity of a factor is getting affecting. This is just because we are assessing everything with respect to px by py, or we say that is the rate of relative rate of inflation. Okay, so based on that, somehow we can do it, but that is not very easy. Let me tell you that. So it's not that much successful what we have studied before. Okay, so single factorial, why it is single factorial one? Because we are only taking productivity aspect in the export sector, not in the import sector. That's why it is single factorial term with respect to export sector. And how we actually can determine it, that is TTS, single factorial terms of trade, which is equals to TTC, that is your commodity terms of trade value, multiply by ZX or FX. Both of the symbols are valid in that. So you can even write this factor productivity, that is FX, and also this ZX, and divided by, that is 100, because of the base and relative value of it. So that's why, excuse me, somebody was saying something. क्या गलती से माइक ऑन हुआ था? Okay, guys. So this gives us, this is the form of measurement for the single factorial terms of trade. So how to measure it, we'll go over here. So this gives us the idea of the same way. Sorry, how can I be here? It is income terms of trade. First of all, let me go bit in depth. Single factorial terms of trade of a country are equal to the product of its net barter terms of trade and productivity index in the export sector, as we have seen numerically also. Consequently, a country's gain from trade may increase. Okay, so that is an assumption that if our exports are more productive, you would earning more revenue out of it. So it's just productivity is giving you one direction how to improve. So countries gain from trade may increase even with the deterioration in the its net barter terms of trade. So if productivity is increasing more and your TTC even it is giving you deterioration, then still you can improve in the entire terms of trade. So that is possible according to you, because you can compensate the effect of it. So but before going on the numerical aspect, I think I'll go to the double factorial terms of trade. The double factorial terms of trade of a country is a measure that aims to incorporate not only its net barter terms of trade, but also the productivity changes in its export and its import sector. So now we are also adding this import sector into the productivity, and how to measure it, that is TTD, that's equals to, again TTC would remain same, ZX by 100, ZM by 100, 100 will be cancelled out, so you'll be having only this. So it means TTC, you consider not PX by PM only, that is full TTC, and multiply by ZX by ZM. Okay, so this gives us what, now we can see practically how we can go about it. So we have this commodity terms of trade. We already have estimated these values 125, 100, 121.1, and so on in the last class. Okay, so for all decades we have estimated this TTC values. Then there these values are given to you. Okay, though we know it's very difficult to measure how ZX and ZM, because these are more subjective rather than in the counting and estimation. So but yes, the values if given to you, or you can measure this productivity based on relative inflations and all that. So this given you 85, 100, 110, 120, 130, that is for all decades. And ZM, it means import productivity, is also given to you. Now you can calculate this single factorial terms of trade, that is TTC multiplied by ZX by 100. So this gives you it means this value 125 multiplied by 85 divided by 100. So this gives you 106.3. Similarly, for this decade, you can calculate this is 100 and so on. And if you want to compute the growth of it, then it means 100 minus 106.3 divided by 106.3. Okay, so this gives you negative growth here. It is minus 5.9. For further, you can see it is a positive growth. It means productivity is increasing, and also this is contributing in your terms of rate. Here also it is positive. This also reveals that the productivity is declining. Because of that, your terms of trade is declining. The double factorial terms of trade is also, the important one, because now you're talking about import productivity also. Why this is so important? Because you are importing these goods, it's also adding some welfare to your nation, because your consumption is rising. So whatever you're importing, that is also giving you some utility. But always that has to be very important, because you're earning something or receiving something from the exports. So ZX should be always greater than the ZM. Okay, so always there is a relative analysis between ZX and ZM, which says that ZX or FX should be greater than this ZM or FM. Okay, so this gives us here the value of ZM. This is 80, 100, 120, and so on. And you can calculate like this: 125 multiplied by, what's the value of ZX? This is 85 divided by 80, and you'll be getting this 132.8. And here 100, here triple one, 118, 101.9. And same way you can estimate the growth over here. So 100 minus 132.8 divided by 132.8 gives you minus 24.7. It means the productivity of, especially this export, is declining, and maybe this productivity of import is now basically greater than this ZX, and which is, negatively contributing in this terms of trade. Here more ZX is, it means ZX is greater than ZM. Here also the ZX is greater than ZM, but here ZM is greater than this ZX. So that's how you can interpret the whole results of your single factorial and the double factorial terms of trade. The same way, we have another method, but that is also not very popular: the real cost terms of trade. Why this is not popular? Because this is more subjective, okay, and we cannot even have, the numerical calculations on it, because it's purely subjective. It's purely we can't even estimate it. The reason, because what we are adding over here, the one is, we are talking about real cost terms of trade. So TR is representing real cost terms of trade. Here we are taking this single factorial terms of trade. You can even write TT as here, TTR here. So this is single factorial terms of trade multiplied by, this says non productive goods which were used in exports. Now, why this has been taken? Because, excuse me, in this analysis, we are discussing about this productivity of exports and productivity of import. But if you're only talking about productivity, there is always, the presence of disutilities too, or obviously unskilled labor also, and that can also give you, can harm this terms of trade. And but we cannot compute it. The problem is that we don't have the data for that. So that is why this is purely subjective. That is the non-productive goods which were used in exports. Goods, you can even talk about resources. Okay, so it is non-productive goods and resources which we are using in the exports, which is actually not contributing, to this ZX, especially what I say, that to rise in the whole system or the whole calculation. So this gives us TS multiplied by RX. So only you need to multiply in single factorial terms of trade, multiply by this RX, which is actually indicating non-productive goods which were used in the exports. So here we can write PX by PM multiplied by 100. You can also take, because that's the TTC, and which is multiplied by FX, and which is multiplied by RX. So that is the whole formula for real cost of terms of trade. So that is giving us a more subjective analysis of it. Then finally, we have this method, and this is utility terms of trade. That's also not popular, because this measure is also a subjective one, and we don't have data for that, so we cannot compute it. This measures the changes in non-utility to produce per unit of export goods, measure the changes in provided satisfaction through imports of a country, and sacrificing domestic consumption to produce exportable goods. See, we are doing what? We are sacrificing our domestic consumption. Like you can recall this immeasurizing growth concept, what Professor Jagdish Bhagwati was saying, that if you are increasing this exportable goods, then you are at the same time your welfare is declining because you are not consuming that good. So this is the sacrificing domestic consumption to produce this exportable good. And at the same time, because we are exchanging it with the imported items, so that imported goods which you are receiving from other country, they are giving you some satisfaction. So you are comparing between these two. Uh, you're comparing between these two exportable goods which you are offering and also this importable goods which you are receiving. So here the satisfaction which you are receiving from importable goods should be greater than the sacrifice which you are making in offering this exportable goods to the other country. Is that clear to you guys? The satisfaction which you are receiving from importable goods, it means it's also, supporting hiddenly this barter system, because what you are receiving, that is not in the quantity form, but yes, it is giving you more welfare. So that welfare is your satisfaction, but this welfare has to rise over and above the sacrifice you're making to produce this exportable goods in your country. So in other words, this is relative measure of utility of imports and sacrificing domestic goods to produce exportable goods. So this gives us actually utility terms of trade, because utility word you are just adding to this terms of trade or multiplying to this terms of trade. Terms of trade is nothing. This is your P x by pm, but here you can consider also qm by qx. Okay, so that is giving you the utility along with that. So whatever qm is there, that is in the direct proportional to this utility which is rising. Now you can even see some expanded form of it, and that says that this is the symbol of utility, and it says utility of imports which you are receiving from other country, which is a current one, and divided by the base year. Similarly, UA1 is nothing. This is your sacrificing the consumption of domestic goods. So this you are considering as a sacrifice, and this is your base sacrifice, or your 100 you can also assume every time. So this may be cancelled out, and this gives you direct relative term of it. It means what you are, your utility from the imported goods should rise than the sacrifice. We all know, because utility is also the subjective one, we cannot measure it, so we cannot get the data for all these, and that is why we cannot compute it. But subjectively, theoretically, we can say the terms of trade for the utility terms of trade is can be computed like that. If we get this TR, what we have studied in the previous slide, that is real cost terms of trade multiply by this utility terms of trade. Okay, it means px by pm multiply by 100, you can also assume, and then fx rx and multiply by this u. So this whole gives you this utility terms of trade. So that's all about the terms of trade and the various methods of it what we are following. And we have seen this TTC, which is actually the most popular one, very convenient one, which we are using because we get the data of px and pm, and also we know the current values of it on with the and can be compared with the base values of it. So that's the most popular one which I can say. Barter system is also not very practical, so qm by qx, that cannot be taken even for the assessment internationally for all terms of trade between the countries. So we always measure this px by pm into the analysis. Yes, students, if you have any doubts and queries, you can ask the questions in it, and then I will present about the database we require for your assignments. Okay, so that demo I can give you after that. Yes, students, do you have any doubt, any query in the terms of trade? We have gone through this income terms of trade, commodity terms of trade, gross barter terms of trade, single factorial terms of trade, double factorial terms of trade, then this utility terms of trade and real cost of terms of trade. These are the various methods of it. Okay. So shall I assume this? You do not have any doubts. Okay, I can proceed for further on this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So let me go with the one database which I already have. Okay. For that, first of all, I'm just presenting that database to you. You don't need to have that much database, but you need to collect the database like this. See, I hope this is visible to you guys. Because my data is the panel data. I've given you only two countries interaction, but here many countries are there. The Bangladesh is there, China is there. See, I'm showing what countries are we do have: Bangladesh, China, Indonesia, and then Sri Lanka. Okay, so there we have four countries. Fine. Then years we have taken, that is 1989 to that is up to 2013. Okay, so you may have taken the years for 5 years. Okay, here we have different variables like GDP of one nation and GDP of other nation. That is the multiplication of it, and then there is a log of it, natural log. I hope you all know how to calculate natural log. Let me show you over here. You can go with this equal sign and you can put ln. Okay, with this ln you can even select a number. Let's say for demo I am taking this. Okay, so if you'll go with this, you can get this ln value, and then you can drag this the whole variable x plus m. You can get this uh, the ln values further. Is that clear to you? First thing, how to calculate this log of the data. Fine. So that is the one thing. Now, this we don't know, we don't need actually in our analysis. What I have told you, I have told you to do this. It means the country one and the other country. I means it is your host country, and J it means your partner country. Okay. So if you're taking between India and China, then it means I will be your India and China will be your J. Okay. So the difference of their GDP per capita income is this. Fine. This is GDP per capita. And you can take log of it. That's already log of it. ln GDP PPCI and minus GDP PPCJ. Okay. So these are the total data. What I can show you over here. This is the total data, country, year. So why I'm removing that name of country? Because that is a requirement for the model. Okay, so you do not need any string variable for that. Okay, for your analysis, you do not require any string variable. So that is my string variable, and this is also my string variable. So I can avoid it. So what I can, okay, this can be taken, but this country, I'm just giving a code of it. So see, 111111 I'm taking till 2013. Then 2 will start. It means first is indicating for Bangladesh, second is indicating for China, third is indicating for Indonesia, and the last one was kya tha? It was Nepal,
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. Okay. So last one was indicating for Sri Lanka. So let me copy, the all, but you require only one or two variable. So let me copy it. So मैं copy करती हूँ, but then after I'll show you the window of data. Okay. Okay. In the same way, you have to compile your data also. So it means you require log. Now let me go on this starter version. Okay. Just confirm me if you can look at the screen. Okay. See, this is the screen. I hope it's visible to all. Is that visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That is the Stata version 12. You just right click because I have copied the data from there. Go into the paste special, okay, and you can mark the street first row as variable names. So you will get the data like this. Fine. Now what you need to do, then you have to jump on its home screen. So for that again I have to come on your screen. Uh, okay. Now let me know if its home screen is visible to you. Okay. Is that visible to you guys? I'm putting hide here.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now see there is a command space. Fine. For that, what you need to do, first of all, whatever data you have taken, you have to declare those data as panel data. So xt set, fine. We have your country and year, two variables. So what names you have given, the same names you need to give over here, which is country code, okay, space year. Then it will declare that your data is panel data. It's strongly balanced. Strongly balanced means there is no gaps in your data, and also no variation between the years and time. So both are completely balanced. And now you need to follow. You can have, the three different methods in the panel data. For very simply, I could show you because you don't know even what is panel data, even you are doing in your advanced econometrics. But then there are the three methods of it. The one is your fixed effect model, and second is your random effect model, and the third is your pooled regression model. For pooled regression model, it means combinedly you have to just run the regression. The fixed effect, you require to run xtrage command on it and FE, and also xtrage command and RE for random effect. So first I'll do for fixed effect. Okay. So this is xtrage. Okay. This is the command xtrage you require for that. And further you will be going on this variable which you required. With this variable you can see this is lnxm, which actually shows the sum of these two, total exports and total imports, because that is showing bilateral trade between these two countries. Okay, these two countries. So that can also be taken. Even you can also take only exports and only imports. But better is always that the bilateral trade you are taking. The bilateral trade, it means the trade is rising and trade is affecting or getting affected with all these factors. So that is my assumption. So it means total trade between these two countries. I'm talking about partner country and a host country. It means India and J. J could be Bangladesh, J could be Indonesia, J could be Sri Lanka, and China. Okay, so if this trade is happening, that is being affected by all variables. But our aim to discuss about only one variable, and that is what this the difference between L and GDP. It means GDP C hai. Okay, there is GDPC. Actually, it is a difference of per capita. So wrongly the name is given. It is a per capita difference. So I'm taking this first variable because this is my dependent variable. What is independent variable? This is my independent variable. Okay. So it's showing per capita difference between these two countries. Then I'll put comma and I'll write FE. Okay. So FE means I have run the fixed effect model. So this is showing here the different window, which is actually talking about R square. The value of R square overall, it is 0.47. Okay, within and between is given, but 0.47. Reasonably okay. And probability, which is showing that is greater than F, it means your table value is basically lower than the critical value, and that is why it is significant. So 0.000 shows highly significant. Why it is highly significant? This indicates that it is less than 0.001. Okay, so this model is fit, first of all. But then we will be seeing that this is your dependent variable. It means your total trade. Total trade means between two countries there is a bilateral trade happening. Now this bilateral trade is happening, so you are taking this is your independent variable. Now, coefficient of this says it is a positive 1.106163. Okay, and see here the p value and the t value is given. The t values are positive one, and also this indicates that is high, and that's why your probability is also high. And both values are showing highly significant results, which is lower than this 0.001. Okay, so highly significant, it means your hypothesis. See, it is significant, it means evidently it is proved. Statistical evidence are present for it. It means what is the presence? This is affecting strongly to the bilateral trade. And what is that? That is the per capita differences of these countries. But here we need to find out whether there is a presence of HO model or the Linda hypothesis. So first of all, my objective is to find out whether there is an HO model or not. So for that, here 1.106163 is given. That is a positive value. So whenever your coefficient is positive, it means it is positively affecting your total trade. It means if this per capita differences are rising, then bilateral trade is increasing. That's the meaning. Why this is so? Because the countries which we are taking in our sample, the one is Bangladesh, other is China, then Indonesia, then we have the Sri Lanka. Okay, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh we can consider they are just part of this SARC, but then China and Indonesia out of that. Okay, so here basically this positive difference is actually, or the positive coefficient which is showing over here, that's indicate there is a presence of HO model in the whole analysis. Why HO model is present? Because this shows that if per capita income differences are rising, then bilateral trade is increasing because it's affecting positively. Or in another words, I can say the total trade or a bilateral trade is the positive function of per capita differences. Per capita differences when it occurs when two countries are different in their structures. It means the one country is producing, let's say, capital items, the other country is producing this labor items or the labor intensive goods, and then only because their per capita income is different, their structure of commodities and their intensities are also different, and then only they can participate in the trade with a different kind of goods. And that's why we say that a positive coefficient is actually indicating the presence of HO model. Suppose we could have taken the data of USA also or some other European countries or developed countries to whom we are, participating in international trade, and then only these things could be, more visible to you, like more coefficient could be positive, and then we can say yes, per capita differences if they are rising, then we are trading more with them. It means it means HO model indicates a positive, a function of this bilateral trade. It means if there is a difference in per capita, then only this trade would rise. But suppose this particular thing is coming negative. But I'll talk about bit later about this negative coefficient. Before that, I can show you one more thing. Let's say you can talk about this X trade. Same equation you can take this here. C and this. And then you can write I dot C, but you don't have C, it's country code. So I will write country code. Whatever variable name you are giving, that you need to give. Okay, so see here, this is constant. Constant is your country one. This is your country two. This is your country three, and this is your country four. Okay, so it means for this constant, it means number one country we have Bangladesh. For Bangladesh, you see the coefficient is positive. It means though it is a nearby country, though this is also a developing country, but still our per capita differences are higher. Okay, and the reason because amongst the SAARC countries, India is the more developed. Okay, a relatively developed one. So that's why there is a per capita difference, and their trade is also rising. So that is the one component. This is coming positive. But here we have negative coefficients, and these are also significant one. So it means whenever India is trading with second country, it means China, in the third country, which is Indonesia, and the fourth country, which is Sri Lanka, all coefficients are negative. And if all coefficients are negative, this shows what? This shows there is a presence of Lindar hypothesis, not the HO model. The reason behind it, because what? goods we are trading with these countries, they are similar in nature. It means if we are selling primary goods, we are also importing primary goods from these countries. Like we were importing or we are importing from China what? We were importing or we are importing like diyas and all such, lights, toys, all such things we were importing and we are also producing. So these things are showing that similar kind of goods, whenever are being traded in the amongst the countries, then we call it there is no per capita differences between the country, or there is very less per capita differences between the country, and that is why there is a presence of Lindar hypothesis, because they are similar in nature, they are similarly producing similar kind of goods, but maybe Bangladesh is showing somewhere a different kind of structure of producing goods. Though they are a competitor of us in the jute production, but still in jute production, this Bangladesh is doing immensely good than the India, because of they can control the cost of it and they have a comparative advantage in it. So it means we are not exporting them to the jute products, we are importing, of course. So in that case, of course, their structures, whatever the goods are being imported, they are not very much similar. That's why HO model is present, particularly in Bangladesh, but in these countries there is a presence of Lindner hypothesis. So this was only about this fixed effect model. Even you can check whether the fixed effect model applicable to it or not. So for that I have to again run this Xtrage FE. This is for your idea. It's not required for me in the assignment, but I'm just giving you an idea how you can do it. So this FE, you can, after running this FE, you can go with this estimates, store FE, it means fixed effect. Okay. Then you can go Xtrage, this same variable again, this, and the difference, and then comma RE, fine. And then estimates, so RE you can write. Okay, you can even check Horseman, uh, which is that is FE fixed random FERE, because you have given this name, so you can run the test like this. This is asymptomatic. You cannot find the differences between these two. That's why you're not getting. But always will have the value of it. Here we have a negative value. This further indicates that your probability says it's not a certain value of it, but always whenever you get the value, you compare it with 0.05. It is less than that, then your fixed effect model is appropriate. For that, we have an alternate test, which is SUCAT, but I'm not running for now, because that is only showing how you can go step by step. Then for regression also, or the pulled effect model, pulled regression model, you can just go with regress as a command, and you again go with this and these two variables and leave it. Okay, so this gives us this result. So here your R square is now better, but these values are still positive. And if it is positive always, now overall if it is positive, then it gives us yes, there is a presence of HO model. Now let me show you one more thing for this analysis. First of all, I need to come to your window. Okay, yeah, fine. So this is my one of publication on it, but that is not the same data. This is related to SAARC countries. Okay, so I'm taking you only the SAARC country, and this talks about. I'm just directly going to this model. So it's a gravity model, and there are the very many variables, but I'll talk about only this. This is total trade model. Okay, there we have this variable. This variable is ln ydij. It means the differences in per capita income, okay, between I and J. So we have only SAARC countries. It is India and Bangladesh, India and Pakistan, India and Sri Lanka, and so on. So here we have negative coefficient. So this is very important. I'm telling you why we have negative coefficient, and it is significant at 0.05. So minus 2.29, that is a T statistics. So T value is negative, and this gives us, the significant result. The reason because there we have negative coefficient. The negative coefficient, it means we are saying that Lindar hypothesis is present between the SAARC countries. Why? Because so Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and this Bhutan, Maldives, they are, moreover, they are producing similar kind of goods. Their per capitas are also very similar, as I've shown you in one of the class, I guess, where their per capitas are very similar in nature. And that is why, what this, according to the HO theory, the sign of coefficient of per capita income would be positive. On the other hand, based on the Lindar hypothesis, the sign would be negative. So results indicates that there is a negative coefficient for the per capita differential between India and other members of SAARC countries. So minus 0.114, which is significantly affecting India's bilateral trade with SAARC countries. This further indicates that there is the existence of Lindar hypothesis in SAARC countries, as most of the countries are same in nature of demand patterns and per capita income. So that is the idea of, find out the presence of HO model in the international trade. Yes, students. Do you have any doubts? Can you do your assignments now on the basis of it?